Well, we're live. It's right at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. It's December 31st. I'm Roger Holloway, ProStead Realty, and I thought this would be just a good day. I had in the comments from one of my videos, a lady named Linda saying, hey, I saw you live last time. I'm Happy New Year today. And I thought, hey, I'll just go live and talk. So if you're here, I would love for you to tell me who you are and maybe what city or country that you're in. I've had people from Russia, people from Chile, South America in some of these lives. And I don't like to go long. I don't want to eat up your time. We're all busy, but hey, it's kind of the end of a big year, right? 2021. If you can hear me in the chat, just say, I hear you fine, if you don't mind, because I didn't take time to check my mic today. I think we're fine though, but just say, I hear you fine in the chat if you don't mind. Love to know who you are. So I got three things I really want to talk about, but guess what? I used to be on the radio for 10 years, morning man. I mean, I could go 3 hours. Not that you want me to go 3 hours, but it's fun just to kind of catch up and talk. Got three kind of things I want to share with you especially, but if you have questions and you want to talk about it in the chat, that's a great place to do it. You can ask it right there. Would love for you to do it. So the first thing I think I'll just tell you first about my new video series called Building from the Ground Up. I had a client in Seattle text me yesterday that, hey, yeah, I'm watching you building that house and I like it because guess what? He's building a house at about the same stage of the house that I'm featuring. So if you haven't seen that yet, you can go into my playlist tab, which is right here on YouTube, and you can just look for the tab called Building from the Ground Up. So if you can hear me, put it in the chat. I hear you fine. I want to make sure my mic is working well. So guys, the first thing is that video. So for anybody that's thinking about building, it's a really fun one, I think, to watch it. I start out with dirt. Now it's a whole playlist. So now there are about 10 videos on there, but there'll be, 20 or 30 more in the next few months. It's kind of fun to see it, kind of like a little reality TV deal. So here's what I'll say to you, starting with dirt. It's in a 55 plus neighborhood. I'm trying not to reveal which one, just kind of be somewhat generic, but most builders would have this same type of scenario. The one thing of this builder, which kind of surprised me, I think on episode 3 or 4, was that they're using wood panels. A lot of times, guys are building stick framing wall sections right out on the concrete, and then they erect them. These came that way as panels. I think you enjoy seeing that. So check out Building from the Ground Up. By the way, I'm happy to entertain any questions. I've got 3 things to talk about, but I'm happy to entertain any questions if you have them about relocating to Charlotte, anything like that. New construction. I'm not a builder, but I do love new construction. And my grandfather built homes for returning GIs in the, like the baby boom, of which my dad was one of them. So it's kind of special to my heart. And so would love to chat with you, interact with you. I'm a team leader of a group of a handful of buyer agents. And if you look in the description below, if you're watching the Restream or any of my recent videos, you'll see my current roster in the description below about that. So 2 other things I'm going to talk about is my team today, and that I started right there. And then talk about a new friend that I met this year. And I'll just go ahead and spoil it by saying my new friend gave me a gift. Can you guess what that is? Yeah, he gave me 2 of them. I offered to pay him for them, but he does get a discount, but I didn't. He'd hear none of it. So I'm going to tell you about him and why that's important today related to the New York Times Square ball drop, New York, the New York City Times Square ball drop. So that'll be my 3rd item. Let me just talk about my team real quick. I had just yesterday, I was thinking about a couple in Connecticut. If you're watching, Lou, say something in the chat. And we've been working for a long time. They, like many of us, it's a big move. You're relocating from where you grew up or the Northeast or West Coast, Midwest, and you want to get it right. And I'm all about that. And he's been a builder and in construction a lot over the years as well. So he knows a lot of things too. And, just to kind of the backstory about my team, when I hit 70 this year, 71 on my next birthday, I know. No, God is good. It pays to live right. But, when the whole COVID thing hit and people stopped coming in as much, I mean, a typical day for me would be going out with buyers all day for maybe 2 or 3 days And that's hard work, believe it or not, because you got to think on your feet. That you go to the first neighborhood. Well, I didn't like this. I did like this. Let me think. Oh yeah, I'm thinking about another neighborhood that's not on our tour. And so you get on the phone and you call while you're going to that next neighborhood. It's really hard work, guys. And it takes a special kind of person to do that. And I'm not bragging. I'm just explaining. I'm not complaining. I'm just explaining. And I'm 70. So now Rodney Jones is in his 50s. Denise O'Farrell's like in her 40s. Chris Nordyke is, I think he just hit, I think he's in his late 50s, somewhere in that range. And younger guys like Joe Top and Donnie Morrison. So I got a great team of people. And so I really determined this year, because I liked that lifestyle, even though it's slowed down. I liked it because, hey, my wife's retired. Having coffee with her in the morning is very important to me. And going out and shooting videos with Jack, I love all that, doing the marketing, answering the phone. A lot of you like the fact that I answer the phone. That's great. And so, by the way, put it in the chat who you are and where you're from, where you're living right now. I'd like to know, get a feel. If you have a question, I may recognize your name. And so that really kind of started feeling good. And so started giving more leads to Rodney, more leads to Denise, more leads to Donnie. And now I've just determined, hey, instead of retiring, I mean, who wants to retire, right? To retire is to expire. Don't tell my wife that. I'm keeping her alive. But my point is that I'm enjoying my lifestyle now and building this team of people and enhancing their lives with some really good quality prospects to help them has been really fun for me. And so this one guy in Connecticut, I was thinking about him a couple of days ago, and I said, wow, I think Rodney Jones, I think I'll hold on to him and he and his wife. I've got 2 or 3 years in with them. But you know what? I just realized a day or two ago, Rodney could do a better job with them than I can. And so Rodney did a little research, had some ideas, shot an email off to my Connecticut clients and said, hey, Rodney would like to chat with you today. So that's all good. And that feels really good. So I don't be put off when I answer the phone that I say, you know, do you prefer to work with a man or with a woman? Would you prefer to work with a veteran? Donnie Morrison's a veteran. Do you need someone bilingual? Marlon Rodriguez is bilingual. He's from Costa Rica. Great guy, et cetera, et cetera. And so also kind of their price points, the tier of their price points, so on. So guys, thank you for tuning in today. And you might be watching this on the Restream. That's good. So my team is a great team and I love them. Now let me tell you about this new friend I met, because I don't want to hold you long. You know, here we've been in almost 8 minutes. If you have something you want to talk about, I'll stay for an hour, but I don't want to just wear you out with just me talking about me, you know, or about my team. But I want to help you. I would love to give you information. I would love to interact with you. This goes back to comments. I mentioned Linda made a comment about a week ago. Well, I don't check my comments often. And there are only a few videos where for a while I listened to the consultants and they said, you got to get comments, you got to interact with your YouTube. And that's the normal model. But hey, my phone number is all over my videos. It's all over the internet. I encourage you to go to rogerholloway.com all the time, and you can interact with me there for sure. But comments, that's somebody else's deal. They're working their side of the street. I'm working mine. So those of you that posted comments, great. But now I'm asking you for comments. I'm live. And so if you want to chat and go back and forth in real time, New Year's Eve 2020 is a great time to do it. Would love to hear how your year's been, what you want to talk about, when you're moving. That particular lady, I looked back up in my notes. She's hoping to make her move in 2021. So that's good. All right, guys. So do you recognize this name? You recognize that name? That's Waterford Crystal. And that gift that my friend gave me came in that box, and it's 2 of these, the Lismore goblet set. Now, I'm drinking water from it today at 9 a.m. on Christmas Eve. Other beverages can fit in there at other times of the day, but isn't that gorgeous? And that's Waterford Crystal. That's the real thing right there. And so, Tom, thank you, Tom Brennan. So here's the kind of the cool thing about doing what I do. I go out to the World Wide Web, right, with YouTube. So this Tom Brennan was up in Boston. He moved from Waterford, Ireland, with his family about 6 years ago to New Jersey. He is the face of Waterford Crystal. If you want to see a great video on him, I'm going to put it in the chat where you can go and find it. He sent me this video. He was on Yahoo News. They had a great video interview with him, and he's broadcasting live from the Charlotte area. He's like about 6 minutes from my house right now. So go into Yahoo News. You can do it now, do it later, and just search Waterford Crystal helps ring in New Year's Eve 2020. So Waterford Crystal is basically, this world famous crystal manufacturer in Waterford, Ireland. Tom, or as he was known as a wee lad, Tommy Boy Brennan, his dad was a master artisan, and then he became a master artisan. And now in this career for him at this moment, he is the voice and the face. He's on Shop HQ or HQ Shop, whatever it is, kind of like with their infomercials, running their specials. That's pretty great. But as it relates to the New Year's Eve, which is today, the New Year's Eve Times Square ball drop. You know the ball that drops? That ball is made out of Waterford Crystal. And they've done that for many, many years. And they take great pride. They change the themes out every so often. And so Tom speaks about that in that video on Yahoo News. And he was on ABC News last week. So if you went into YouTube and looked, or Facebook, and look for Tom Brennan, Waterford Crystal, you'll find him. But that particular video is a great one. It shows him at his home in the Charlotte area, right? So that's a blessing to me, because he's watching me, a year or two ago up in Boston, and then he reaches out. He's Irish, so I put him with Denise O'Farrell, because those Irish people know how to speak to each other, right? So Denise O'Farrell was the one that got him through to the finish line. I've got a video of him on my channel as well, under the Realtor Reviews playlist, Realtor Reviews playlist, Charlotte Realtor Reviews playlist on my YouTube channel. Well, guys, you're either not awoke yet, or you don't want to talk to me, but I don't want to wear you out. And so we're coming up on 12 minutes. If I can do anything for you, go to rogerholloway.com and do a great, click on the search tab. You can do exhaustive search. After you see about 5 properties, I'll ask you to identify yourself and say hi. Or you could just call me, 704-345-3400. So call or text, that's my cell number, 704-345-3400. I hope that 2020, whatever bad times you had, that's behind you. I thank God I didn't catch the COVID. I'm old and obese, so that's problematic on a number of levels. But again, there's a covenant that I've entered into, and I believe in it. And so I thank God. 2021, let's see how we do here, right? 2021. I think I'm ready for 2021. How about you? And so, guys, thank you so much for tuning into the chat. And we're going to end the stream right now. Happy New Year 2021. If I can do anything for you, I'd love to do it. We'll see you in the next video.